First of all, I really like the full title of this one. It's a little bit wordy, but I like it. And I think they officially tried to go with just Birds of Prey for a while too. But it seems like they reverted back to the original title, and I'm glad they did. Because it's unique, fun, it's different, and it makes it stand out a bit more. Second of all, we can all probably agree that the Suicide Squad movie wasn't that great. In fact, I think it was a huge mess with very few redeeming qualities. But one of its few redeeming qualities was Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Her performance and portrayal was just perfect, and it's one of the few things I actually remember from that movie. So when I heard she was getting a solo movie of sorts, I was all for it. And you know what? This actually looked good too. It looked like it could be a lot of fun. And it's written by the writer of Bumblebee, which I thought was fun too. So before going into this, I was actually excited. I was looking forward to it. And it starts off strong too with this little animated sequence recapping Harley Quinn's backstory. It's also quickly established that she's broken up with the Joker and she's not taking it well. That's the basic jumping off point for the story here, but turns out that the story doesn't really have much to do with that. And it takes quite a while for the movie to actually get to what it's getting at, to establish what the actual plot is about and what's going to be driving the story forward. And until it eventually gets to that, the structure of this thing is all over the place. It jumps back and forth and involves a million different characters doing their own things. And it has some real trouble getting down to the gist of it and to the core of things. But eventually it does get it all sorted out, and turns out that the movie has a very basic plot. There's essentially this one thing that everyone wants to get their hands on, and that's about it. Pretty much all the involved parties just want to get this thing, and that's the main conflict. And I have no idea why they needed to make the structure of this so complex, unless they just wanted to obscure what was really going on, because it makes the movie feel a bit messy. It doesn't feel very focused, it feels a bit scattered for a lot of it, and to be honest, I found it to be a bit boring. And for a movie that has this many things going on and seems to be trying really hard too, it wasn't very compelling to me. I also found most of the comedy to fall flat as well, and as a result, yeah, I didn't really care for this. Now, I didn't hate it, there aren't a lot of individual things I took issue with. But at the end of the day, it just didn't really do much for me at all. It just didn't speak to me on any level. Now, with that being said, I did like a few things about it, or rather, I appreciated a few things about it. One being that, unlike most superhero movies, this one wasn't afraid to use some color. There's actually a fair bit of bright colors here, and I thought that felt refreshing. The second thing I appreciated was the physicality of a lot of the action. There's a lot of close quarter combat, and you can tell it wasn't CGI, large portions anyway. It's actual people doing the stunts, and usually in front of actual physical sets too. Which I really appreciate in a world of Marvel movies where basically all action is done with CGI and green screens. It just feels different and it makes for a pleasant change of pace, to be honest. But yeah, other than that, unfortunately this didn't really do much for me. And that's a shame, but how about it? Would I recommend this? I mean, not really, but I have heard of a few people really enjoying it, so maybe it's worth giving a shot. Or you could just skip it. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.